Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kortiwada. In this video, we will learn about JavaScript function parameters. So how to create the parameters and a functional parameters in JavaScript we'll see in this video. Before we spoke about functions, that is a default functions with no parameters. How we will do that? By using a function, and we'll be using something like addition, the name of the function, and I'm not passing any of the parameters. Parameters are generally passed over here. We are not passing, that means no parameters. And let me print the console.log of something like a plus b. So what is that a plus b value? I can use var a is equal to 10 and var b is equal to 20. So now I'll use a plus b as my console. Save this. Now let me execute this. Nothing will be shown. Why? Because we have to call the function addition with no parameters and save this. Now let me hit this. Now you have the value as 30. So this is absolutely fine. But here we are restricting these two values to this function, and that will not be accessible out of this function, and also they are static. So I can't reuse this function more until unless I need 10 and 20. So if I want to pass some external values from outside, and that value should be invoked inside the function, how we can do that? That means the dynamic values. So I can pass the dynamic values like this: a comma b, or input a comma input b. So I have two values which will be passed externally, and these are called as parameters. Let me copy this and put it over here. Let me copy this and put it over here. So these parameters will be a local scope. That means it will work only within this function. So let me pass that value called as 10 comma 20 and save this. Now what will happen? You will be getting an output same as it is. But here the thing is, already these are local scope. Why to create the variables again? We don't need to create the variables again. Instead, you can use directly, like input A and input B. Let me remove these variables. So if you want to store and if you want to use for other purpose, you can do it as a backup, but here it is not required. So let me execute the same value as 10 and 20, that is equal to 30, and these functions are called as parameterized functions. So we are creating a function with set of parameters. Now there are some edge cases how to get these values and how they actually work with arguments. So if you print something called as console.log of this whole values, if you want, you can use arguments and save this. This is a keyword which is given by JavaScript. So let me execute this. And now you can see the arguments are objects, and you got 0 with the 10 and 1 as 20. That means first value as 10 and second value as 20. So that is how it is executing. But for example, if I pass 30, will it execute or not in JavaScript? This is the some of the edge cases. So for example, I gave three parameters whenever I am calling the function, but actually whenever I am declaring the function, we have only two parameters. So how this works? Let me execute again. It worked and it gave the absolute answer. Why? Because JavaScript will not bother about number of parameters. We'll talk this edge cases in the upcoming video. For now, remember, we can pass n number of parameters and we can call a function with some set of parameters where we can pass some dynamic values to that parameters to execute, and that parameter scope is only till this function. So let me show you that scope as well. Console.log of input a. If you see this input a, you will be getting a problem over there. It has been broken. You are not able to see the value. So let me see here. Input A is not defined. So that's why this scope is only within this function. You can write within the if condition. For example, if I'm just giving true value by default, console.log of input A, and let me remove this. So now we can check the scope again. The scope is 10 and it is accessible within this if condition. That means within this function, wherever you want to use that parameters, you can use it. So that's how the parameters will work in JavaScript. Hope this gave you a glance about understanding the functions with parameters and without parameters. We'll talk more about the edge cases in the upcoming video. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.